I just had to get it out. But what didn't feel wrong was the Warriors doing, I don't know if I want to say the unbelievable, but definitely the unexpected last night, Goo, and taking down the fully loaded Los Angeles Clippers 115-91. It didn't look great in the first half. I think we're thinking, okay, they hung around a little bit. The Clippers might spread it out and make this thing a little too hard for the Warriors to catch up to. And then the Warriors just hit the nos like Vin Diesel, Fast and Furious 15, and they say, we're here.
Please stop them.
We're never going to stop them. Yeah. We can do what we want when we want. Jordan Poole shows out. Klay Thompson shows out. Everybody was on the same page. Everybody was on one accord. And let me give you this, Guru. Klay Thompson, a double-double. He had 11 rebounds, 19 points. First double-double since 2017. His most rebounds in his career in terms of the regular season. And then you got Jordan Poole, who you were at the game, did not score in the first quarter.
I looked over to Evan, true story, after the first quarter. I said, Jordan Poole's got to get it going. He's got no points. I just don't like what up. And then bam.
And then bam. Just
middle finger to me.
Exactly. Just like you shot out of a cannon, he ends with 34. And most importantly, as Draymond has spoke to, the defense. And some of the defense, we talked about it a little in the crossover. I do think that the Clippers missed some open shots, but
they did. They were relegated to just shooting.
Exactly.
Go to the rack.
But as we've talked about, and look, we'll get into Draymond, not even guarding Westbrook. Go ahead and shoot it.
That ruined him.
That was borderline disrespectful, because I don't know about you, Goose. Sometimes I've been in a tough place when I'm shooting and people do that to me. I prefer somebody to be in my face. When you're telling me, hey, I do not think you can make this shot, it does mess with your mind.
And you saw Russ. I saw it in person. Is it Mobb Deep, Shook Ones?
Yeah.
He was shook.
Right.
But this just didn't start last night.
No.
It's like, now, Russ, you're telling me you need a basketball therapist, because if they're going to continue to do this, brother, you got to go 0 for 5, and maybe Lou will take you out the game. Basketball's a game of rhythm. Shoot it. And one of my tricks in pickup, here I go. Mm-hmm. I would always say, I'm Draymond on the pickup floor. I would always say, he's got jumper, but you really wouldn't?
Yeah,
so when the dude hears that, that dude gave me a compliment, let me cock it and miss it. Dude, I used to be like, somebody needs to interview me and my tricks. They work.
Well, that's a trick. And then after, have you ever heard this one? After they miss, somebody yells, oh, he with us. He with us. That's what they were probably yelling at Westbrook. And maybe he could dribble a little bit and get some mid-ranges. But look, whatever it is the Warriors were doing, they were full cylinder. They were rolling, man. They were absolutely rolling. That crazy play, I believe it was in the third quarter, where Jordan Poole misses the three, runs out, saves it out of bounds, saves it out of bounds, runs into E40. Yeah. E40 says, get back in there, young buck. Jordan Poole gets the ball back, and Steph Curry might have been playing the best defense on Jordan Poole. If the best shooter in the world is staring at you, the way Steph was saying, you better not miss it. You best not miss it, and Jordan Poole did not. So I don't know about the whole season. I don't want to play this, prisoner of the moment, but that did feel like at the very least, one of the best wins of the season.
No doubt. And you said it great, and I told you in the green room, listen, on this win streak, every game we can take a section of the game and say, we can take the first half last night. They were down 11.
Right.
No 12. There's no harm, no foul. We understand you're without Curry. We understand you're without Wiggins. So, to me, I'm blown away that they're showing that quote-unquote championship blood before the return of Wiggins and Steph Curry.
Yes.
So I wouldn't dare look at you and tell Dub Nation, Allen, I think it's coming a little too soon. No. Then we can say, hey, let's look who you played. Every team of the four that the Warriors have beat, to me, they got some type of not drama, they're going the wrong way. That's not our problem here.
No.
All we're trying to do is stack wins, but there is a part of me, Allen, that thinks, okay, if you were down 11 to Denver, if you were down 11 to Phoenix with Kevin Durant, they would probably put your face in the mud, but I can't do that.
But I don't know about that,
I'm just enjoy the wins.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I'm in the Star Trek Enterprise, and I'm looking ahead. Okay, when Wiggins and Curry do come back, will that take time to, reemerge them into the offense?
Yeah.
I guess those fall under good thoughts, though.
Yeah. There's going to be
9th seed, 10th seed.
No, there's going to be a transition period for sure. But whenever you're getting your two best players back, that's never a bad thing. They're going to figure it out. I wouldn't worry about that. And as we talk about the back-to-backs all over, the Warriors are back at it tonight from Chase Center, hosting Brandon Ingram and the New Orleans Pelicans. Warriors Live starts at 6 p.m., taking you up to the 7 p.m. tip-off. Catch all the action on your home for Warriors basketball, 95.7 The Game.
Another game tonight.
Another game tonight. Run it back.
Brandon,
run it back.
You don't like Ingram.
I don't mind Ingram.
What did you say about him, though?
No, I think that was Evan. I think that was Evan. He just is not on. He just is not on the floor enough. And I think
that was Evan.
But I do think when you're worried about guys and their builds, right?
He's baby Durant to me.
But he has not grown into a adolescent Durant. Okay, he's still skinny. He's got to gain weight. I don't know if that's directly associated.
I had those problems.
Well, same here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's directly associated with his injuries, but I know it can't help. I know it always helps to have a little bit more muscle on you. So as we continue to talk about the Warriors on the show today, we're also going to continue to roast the Clippers. Goo tried to put him in the fraud department. I don't even know if they belong in the fraud department the way they were playing. We got the Draymond and the European players. We'll get back into that as well. Ryan Hollins, analyst for the Houston Rockets at 1:30 p.m. And then, look, y'all are doing a lot of talking here about the Niners being done with Trey Lance. So we're going to see what you really got to say. But we got a lot to talk about.
Here I go, man. You can call me whatever you want to call me, but Alan, I have receipts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like what I saw from Trey, and it was 50-50.
Okay.
It was his accuracy, it was the play calling, but the energy against something we don't know what he's going to be, and we saw in a short sample size is my new word, weird.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm gonna leave that.
I know.
It's real weird to me.
Yes.
Boys going triple 360 windmill dunk that this dude's. You ain't even seen him enough.
No, I know. And the last thing I'll say.
Kyle drafted him.
The last thing I'll say before we get back to the Warriors is this. So I told you yesterday, Goo, as we're just getting to know each other more during the show, and I love that. I love that.
We got to get to All-American too.
Oh, we'll get to All-American. I don't want to cry on the show. But I told you yesterday about how I love my cooking shows. I also love dating shows. I watch Love Island.
Lord.
I will watch The Bachelor sometimes, not every season. And my point is this. When you have somebody you like and then somebody else comes into the villa or comes into the house and you start acting a little different, the other person can tell and the audience can tell, okay?
Where you going?
Last year, the Niners were moving quite differently with Trey Lance. The way they were talking about him, we're giving him the keys. That was their person. You are my person. Then who walked into the villa, Goo?
Okay, I see.
Brock Purdy walked into the villa, and now all of a sudden, I just want to slow things down. I don't want to move too fast.
Earned that, though.
He did earn that.
Okay.
He did earn that. He put in the work. But we got a lot to talk about when we get back to the Niners. But let's start here. In 888-957-9570. It's a Payday Friday. Let's get the lines open right now. Is your faith back with the Warriors? Did your faith ever leave? How confident are you that this Warriors team that we saw last night is who we will see for the rest of the season?
If you talk about effort, if I can do that first, this is who we're going to see. But I just don't like the fact that they're showing everything you want them to show, but there's two guys missing. So I wish we were watching a Warrior team with the two guys.
You're really worried about...
No, I'm not worried. I just can't shake it because those two guys could come back at different junctures, which most likely it's going to be, and then you got to reinvent that. Do we call this synergy, or you got to reinvent what you have going right now? And what you have going right now, I could throw darts at the first half against Minnesota. Okay, the first half against Portland.
Yeah.
So I won't do that, but I can't forget that. So it's not like they just Mike Tyson these last four opponents. But to that, Jordan Poole, I love what I'm seeing. Kuminga, I talked about him last night. I love what you did against Kawhi. Nobody will ever shut Kawhi down, but from a body standpoint, you gave him problems in the second half, and that's why he was on mute. So I'm looking at you. I got a bet for them to go back to back. I love what I'm seeing. I just can't unforget that we're driving the Mercedes on a spare tire. And at some point, I'm going to get a new tire, and that's when I'll tell you how the car's right.
This is the first time that I will reference last year and say that there are some parallels that I think will work in the Warriors' favor, because I think a lot of people have been talking about last year and how, well, the Warriors did the same thing last year. We'll be okay. They did this, they did that. And I've continued to say, well, the Warriors were just a better team for majority of the season last year. They had some bad losses, but not like this. But in the case of what you're talking about and the spare tire and bringing in the cavalry coming back with Steph and Wiggins.
The brigade.
That and on the Xfinity Mobile text line, somebody is saying GP2 as well. We're not sure about GP2, but eventually you'll get GP2 back. The reason I'm not worried about that is because this specifically is something we saw last year with Steph coming back from the bench, Draymond being injured, coming back with, a handful of games left in the season. We've seen the Warriors do this and be successful in the playoffs. Now, they were playing a lower seed and they were starting at home. So that's a little bit different than what this situation will be, because they probably won't start with the home court advantage unless they really get hot here. So it's a little bit different there.
They can go anywhere and win. But look at their road record. What would make you think that?
Nothing right now.
The Curry tenure.
But I do think that adding these guys back is something that they've done in the past because they are an older team. So I'm personally not that worried about getting them back into the fold. Could it look clunky? Now, specifically because you're going to get them back before the playoffs.
Right. Curry he may be back Sunday. I would love for him to come back against the Lakers without LeBron. But again, about last night, the Clippers, they had problems coming into that game. So, Alan, do I sound like I'm not jumping in the pool? Because I feel like I could put the water in the pool.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the Clippers, who just a couple nights ago lost to Minnesota at home, Alan. So,
I know.
So I'm going to celebrate this win. I was in the house. I'm excited. But, man, I want this team to be whole. And then I'll be like, oh, full steam ahead, watch out. Because as soon as Jordan Poole's coming off the bench, we're going to have to see how he handles that. And it may be nothing, but we can't ignore that sometimes there's been a little transition and it's taken time.
Well, and it's funny you say that because, again, on the Xfinity Mobile text line 415, does Curry come off the bench for a bit when he comes back to keep the peace? I don't think so. Not this time.
Yeah,
the way everything worked out last year was completely different. Jordan Poole was on that tear, that 20-point
binge,
that 20-point bender, and they were starting at home. They felt like they had more wiggle room. They had more leeway to figure things out. They don't have that this time around. You got to go, and you got to go with your best guys. And let's not forget, everybody that wanted to talk about how the Warriors were playing well, despite their record, what did they say? Well, their starting five has the best offensive efficiency in the NBA. So you're not going to say no to that because Jordan Poole got hot for a couple games. You're not going to do that. You'll live whatever Jordan. And at some point, Goo, I was thinking about this too, not to get too far down the road. Jordan Poole is going to have to figure this out because majority of your contract, unless Klay Thompson moves, is going to be off the bench.
No doubt about
this
it.
idea
that's your home.
That's your home. Now, you're going to be a hybrid dude because Steph isn't going to play as much as he had in the past, but you got to learn how to play off the bench. So I think that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for Jordan Poole to be in that position and for the team to say, look, enough of this. You play good starting. You don't play as good on the bench. We got to figure it out now, and I would rather try to figure it out in the regular season than the playoffs, specifically when you have a Western Conference that's just a mess.
No doubt. And that was the big takeaway as I drove home. And we talked about it in changeover too. Alan, for when the Warriors were 10th looking up, I, on a personal level, feared everybody because I didn't think the Warriors knew who they were. And I didn't know if it was like Steiny was saying, it might be age, attrition.
Yeah.
But now, and this is no shade at Sac. This is no shade at Memphis, but I'm giving Denver, come up. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt because you're in the 1 seed. We talked about Phoenix, but outside of that, it's like every other team is in the West is revealing itself and its warts. So the Clippers did, up until last night, scare me. And I gave them the benefit of the doubt with what went down with Minnesota the couple nights before in the SAC game. But now, Alan, I can see clearly now the rain's got, like, we're really talking about 2 or 3 teams.
Yeah.
And I don't care if they have home court advantage over the Dubs. If this team is clicking, and I want to see that now sooner than later, I made the greatest bet, and I'm ecstatic, and I feel good about it. And I know Steiny, if he was here today, I wouldn't come in like, because I ain't won nothing.
Yeah.
But I would be like, dude, just tell us you're a little shook.
Yeah.
He left out of here on vacation. They were 10th. Now they're 5th.
And